Okay, hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for our Investments in Latin America webinar. We'll give everybody just a second here to log on and get familiar with the Zoom platform. If you want to take a minute and find that Q&A panel, Q&A section in the bottom panel there. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, feel free to type them in there. We'll do our best to get to as many of those questions at the end, but we do have quite a bit to go through. So if we don't get to it live, one of our property consultants will reach out to you to go through your questions there. So it looks like we're getting quite a few people logging in here. So we'll wait just another minute and then we can get started. All right, so let's get this going. All right, so welcome everybody. My name is Betsy Rosenlund. I'm a property consultant with ECI Development. I am currently living in Belize. I've been here about 6.5 years. I'm also a resident of Panama, so I absolutely love Latin America, love talking about Latin America, and excited to have all of you folks on today to learn more about a handful of the projects that we have currently going on. My co-host is Brandon Hodge, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Hello, I am Brandon Hodge. I'm more of a newbie. I've been in Nicaragua for 3.5 months now. Just got my first renewal and excited to be here.
All right, fantastic. So one other thing I want to point out, in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you'll see an email address, webinar@ecidevelopment.com. If at any point you have a question or want some more information on anything that we are talking about, feel free to shoot an email over to that address. Brandon did have somebody ask if you can bump up your volume a little bit.
It is max, so maybe I'll just lean in and talk a little bit louder.
There we go. That sounds better on my end too. All right. So, quick overview. This is our wonderful leadership team here. We've got a lot of great folks who help keep the wheels turning here. A lot of you are probably familiar with the names Mike Cobb, Joel Nagel, but there's a lot of other people behind the scenes that are making things happen. This is our whole organizational chart. I don't expect you to memorize it or even be able to read it, but there are quite a few people in several different countries working to make ECI what it is today. So one of the main things that we're going to talk about is, what are your goals? That's really going to help determine where you're looking to buy. We've put together this chart here. We call it the real estate investment curve. And we based it on popularity, where people like to go on vacation, where they like to go on honeymoon. So up at the top there, you'll see Mexico, Pacific, Costa Rica. Those places have been very popular for a long time. Prices are a little bit higher. Then you kind of go down the curve here and you get countries like El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua. Those are definitely more emerging markets, but they have a lot of room for appreciation. And then kind of in the middle, you'll see Belize, Costa Rica Highlands, Argentina. All of these are, that doesn't mean to say that one is better than the other. It really just depends on your goals. If you're looking at that higher section there, those are in a mature market, which have, a little bit more cash flow right away. Things on that lower half of the curve, like I said, are in an emerging market with high levels of appreciation. So the first country we're going to talk about is Belize. It's definitely one of my favorites. Like I said, I've called Belize home for almost 7 years at this point. It's a very unique country. It's kind of right there in the middle of that investment curve. So it's really at the sweet spot where, more and more people are learning about Belize. More people are coming down. We're seeing a lot more air traffic, but you can still find, some really amazing opportunities at an affordable price. It's kind of like if you were looking in Cancun 20 years ago. You can still get a great rate, great options with lots of room to grow. So why would you choose Belize? Easy access from North America, from places like Houston, Miami. It's about 2.5 hours, so it's quite easy. English is also the official language here. Belize was a British colony up until 1981, so all business transactions are done in English, which makes it really easy to do any sort of banking, to purchase property. It's got strong banking laws, very low property taxes. Like I said, affordable Caribbean real estate. It's English common law, and there are attractive investment incentives, including residency options, and an increasing tourism market that's typically based around water activities. So you'll see a lot of ocean photographs here in our pictures here. Belize is a pretty small country. It's got a population just over 400,000. The country is about the size of Rhode Island. And our currency here is the Belize dollar. It's pegged to the US dollar 2-to-1. So when you do come down, you can do all of your transactions in English or in US dollars or Belize dollars. I will make a note here that all of our property prices in Belize are listed in US dollars. Belize is divided up into 6 different districts. Each one is a little bit different, offers something pretty unique. You've got towards the west there, you've got the Cayo district, which is more your rainforest. You've got Corozal, which has more of a Mexican influence, and then you've got over in the Keys here, Ambergris Caye, which is where we're located, for that more laid back Caribbean feel. Lots of activities here in Belize. If you're a history buff, there's tons of Mayan temples that you can explore. If you're into animals, we've got the Belize Zoo, which is all indigenous animals, as well as fishing, diving, snorkeling, different animal sanctuaries, as well as other adventure activities like cave tubing, zip lining, you name it, we've got it here in Belize. So it's definitely a place to come if you like outdoors and adventure. So where we're located, like I said, is on Ambergris Caye. To get there from the mainland, you take either a 15-minute puddle jumper flight, which is quite beautiful. I definitely recommend it at least the first time you're coming over, or you can take a water taxi that's about 90 minutes. But more than 70% of all of Belize's tourism comes from this small island here, Ambergris Caye. The island itself is about 26 miles long by about 1 to 2 miles wide at the largest part. We've seen a huge increase in tourism. Obviously, there was a little bit of a dip from COVID, but we've really bounced back from COVID, and we're seeing tourism numbers increase. These are just some statistics from the Belize Tourism Board. We've got a lot more information on that. We're happy to share that with you as well. So one of the first opportunities that we're going to talk about is the Belize Marriott Residences. This is a new product here on the island. We partnered with the Marriott Residences about 3 or 4 years ago to start conceptualizing this property. Residences here start at just about $319,000. One of the unique things is that all of these options in this property have water views. It's really quite stunning. You look right out onto the Caribbean Sea. The Belize Barrier Reef is just about a half a mile out. So it's really quite pretty to see the boats passing by. Occasionally early in the morning, you'll see dolphins. This is a unique property here on the island. It's going to offer 202 keys. That's a combination of studios, 1 bedrooms, and 2 bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms. It's also going to offer some things that aren't on the island currently, such as conference and event space, conference space to hold, a couple hundred people, or large weddings. Typically now, spaces are limited to about 30, 40 people. So getting those large destination weddings, dive conventions out here is going to be huge, especially for tourism. purposes. And if you're looking at it from an investment standpoint, that's great news for you to bring in new people that weren't coming to the island before. It's a sophisticated design. It's a British colonial look. So a lot of dark hardwoods that are native here to Belize, a lot of clean lines, a lot of greenery. We've got a lot of lush tropical plant life here in Belize, and we definitely want to incorporate that into the property here. Of the 202 rooms, 68 are available for private ownership. We as a developer are holding on to 60% because we see a value in that. 23 of those 68 have sold, so there are still plenty of options available for ownership, and there's really a combination of options available on all 5 levels. One of the unique things about this is that the 2 and 3 bedroom properties are composed of our lockout, so you can rent it as a 3 bedroom, you can rent it as a 2 bedroom and a 1 bedroom, or 3 separate 1 bedrooms. So it really maximizes your rental options there, which is great from an investment standpoint. Like I said, we have a handful of different models: studios, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. And so prices range from about $319,000 to just over $1 million there. We're happy to send you more information on the availability, the floor plans. Obviously, we can't put everything in because we do have a short amount of time here today with you, and don't want to overwhelm you with information. So definitely reach out if you would like more information on the pricing and availability of those Marriott residences. The next property that we have here in Belize is our Best Western Grand Bayman Gardens. This is an off-beach property. It's just about 2 blocks off the beach, so you can easily be at the beach in about 5 minutes. This is definitely more geared towards that middle class clientele. You can get a residence there starting under $129,000. That's turnkey. You can walk right in, rent it out, or come and live in it. It's in a more residential community, so it is does offer options for both renting and long-term and personal use. Currently, there are 4 buildings that are up and operating: the Anchor, Captain, Dolphin, and Explorer buildings. We are under construction on the Fleet building here, which you can see in green. That building is expected to be complete next month and will open up. And then we're getting ready to start construction on the next building, which is the Galleon building. We will go into a little bit more information on that in just a second here. But you can also see from this map that we've got a pool, a fitness center, tennis courts. So it's really a great option for folks who are looking, whether it is from an investment or a personal use standpoint. It's got lots of great amenities while also being quite close to town there. We have a great rental program in place, and we've just recently partnered with Best Western, which is the 7th largest hotel chain in the world, which means access to a worldwide system of clientele to put heads on beds and create a great revenue stream to owners. Like I said, we've got a lot of great amenities already in place: swimming pool, swim up bar, gym, tennis courts, parking, and more. So like I said, the next building that we're getting ready to start construction on is the Galleon building. Similar to the Marriott property, this one is composed of studios and 1 bedrooms that can be used as a lockout to create a 1 bedroom, a 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, or a 4 bedroom. So it really gives you a lot of options there, depending on what you're looking for. In this building, it's going to be a much more modern look. If you've seen some of our older properties here at Grand Bayman, we're doing a little bit of a revamp, a refresh here, but still using a lot of those natural woods that are found here in Belize that are still quite beautiful. Again, several different floor plans. We do have availability in the studios as well as the 1 bedrooms here, a couple different studio models. and then the 1-bedroom, or you can see here, you've got the 2-bedroom that's a combination of the studio and the 1-bedroom. It's got that lockout door, so it can be rented separately or together to really maximize your rental options. One of the benefits of Belize is that there are several different residency programs if you're looking to have that Plan B residency in your pocket, or if you're looking for someplace to relocate. Belize is definitely a great option for a lot of the reasons that we've already talked about. This is just a handful of the residency options, but you've got your permanent residency that does require you to be in the country for a full year, less 14 days. It can lead to a passport after 5 years, which is really quite handy. There's also the qualified retired persons residency, or the QRP. You just need to be 45 years and older, show minimum proof of income, and spend 30 days a year in the country. You can also bring in items duty free. There's also the investor residency, which is a newer residency, requires $250,000 in the country. You don't need to live in the country, and it can also lead to citizenship. For this investor residency, if you're looking at the Marriott property, this is definitely a great way to achieve that residency by pairing it up with one of the Marriott residence options. So this is our pool here at the Grand Bayman Gardens. It was just recently renovated, completely new bottom of the pool and tiles. We've also revamped our bar, which has a great little snacks, drinks to cool off. We're also working on a swim up bar as well. Like I said, we have tennis courts that have just had pickleball lines added in. I know that's becoming a really popular option as well for folks. There's a pretty good group of people who are working on building a couple teams here on the island, so it's quite fun. And now we're going to switch over to Honduras. And Brandon, if you want to talk to some folks about Honduras.
Yes, let's go through Honduras. This has been a place that I've been wanting to go check out. It is right on the Caribbean coast, close to the Rotan Islands. It is next to a little town called La Ceiba, which is considered the happiest city in Honduras. Really cool spot, easily accessible to US and Canada, and has a lot to do out there. There's actually a really amazing waterfall close by too that they don't have a picture of. I need access to
you should have it.
Did you do that or me?
That's you.
Okay, so whenever we were looking at the chart earlier, you noticed that Belize was towards the upper end. Honduras is going to be towards the most affordable market. So if you're looking for still of a deal, that would be Honduras. You again are right on the Caribbean coast, and it is an amazing neighborhood that we have set up. And my clicker is not working. Sorry, guys. All right, here we go. Okay, so in this neighborhood, you have nearly 2 miles of Caribbean beachfront. It's an eco-friendly village, has oceanfront pools, live music stage, artesian markets, yoga palapas. It's a whole nice big setup that we have there. It's going to be a nice community whenever it's all said and done. Okay, so this is the rendering of the actual neighborhood. So you can see where we currently are, and then you actually see the setup for future developments. You can see in there part of the pool design, etc. These are the 3 different floor plans that we have there. You can see the price point is really incredible. It's ranging between 110 and 130. And then plus the closing and furniture. Here's current construction pictures. So you can flip through and see the progress that we're making, the big palm trees and the overview. Right behind the picture on the top right is going to be where the ocean is. And it's just full of lush greenery. Here are some renderings of the interior. You see there's a couple, there's even one with a nice hammock. That's my favorite one. But they're open concepts. Again, they are eco-village tiny homes. And you have a free brochure with all the details. So just again, email the webinar at ecidevelopment.com and we will send that out and make sure to talk to your property consultant about more individual information about the community. Thank you, Betsy, for flipping through the slides. Okay, so now we are in Nicaragua. This is currently where I am living. I've been here for 3.5 months and I've been loving it. It's actually one of the safest countries in the Americas. The people are truly friendly and amazing people. It's a really low cost of living, many natural places to go, things to do. The rules are not very strong, so you get a lot of freedom. I like to ride my motorcycle down the beach, go off trails. There's really not a lot of rules. It's a true sense of freedom. The year-round climate right now, we are in rainy season, which every day it just rains for like an hour or two just to cool it off. Pretty amazing. And some of the strengths are is we are really close to North America, so it gives you an easy way to access the country. You can either come straight through El Salvador, straight through Costa Rica, and hopefully soon we're going to open up the lines where you can just come straight into Nicaragua easily. The tourism here is growing rapidly. You have all along the coastline coming down from Costa Rica. It just seems like it is just expanding straight through Costa Rica into Nicaragua. A lot of the people that live here just say it's so similar to Costa Rica. Why not come here? Because of the price difference. You have landowner rights being here on the beach. You're not leasing your land, but instead you will actually own your land, which is a huge deal because a lot of the neighboring communities, you actually have a lease on it, but here you actually get to loan it. And the residency programs are easy and inexpensive. Okay, again, off of this map, this is going to be one of your least expensive routes, one of the easier places to make that smooth transition. And it's going to be great for either living here full time or living here part time with some income availabilities. This is just a picture of the beach line. We have 3.5 miles of private beach line in Grand Pacifica. Some of the things we have here actually, we have amazing lake that you can go to. You can go volcano boarding. You have a beautiful, one of the oldest cities in all of the Americas is right here in Granada. A lot of things that are 2 hours away and easy access. This is an aerial view. We actually went up in a helicopter the other day and we were able to take some new pictures. It was pretty amazing. Again, we have 3.5 miles of beach frontage, 2,500 acres, Pacific coast climate. So again, that amazing climate that I was talking about. We are essential to pretty much everything. We're essential to Managua. It's a good hour and a half away. You can get to San Juan del Sur, Rivas, Granada, Leon, all the hot spots. We're right in the middle of everything. Let's see, we have an amazing golf course here. We have actually frisbee golf, tennis courts, soccer, and the neighborhoods that surround us are just full of amazing people that are always around to help you out. It's really feels like a sense of family here. Okay, so this is actually the master plan of the whole community. So we have a list here of what's going on now and what's coming in the future. A lot of the things that are more on the coastline are in expansion right now, and a lot of things away from the coastline are future developments. Okay, now we are going to the EVA development. These are the tiny homes. They're located right off the beach. It's a 2-minute walk to the surf beach, and they are completely off-grid tiny homes. In the tiny homes, you have 4 floor plans to choose from. The price ranges between 150 and 210, and the square footage is between 258 square feet to 448 square feet. The big thing with this community is the rooftop decks. Everybody loves the rooftop decks, just being able to hang out up there, look at the ocean. Every single one of them you can see the ocean from, and it has a great sense of community. These are the floor plans. I don't want to get too far into the floor plans, so we're going to flip through these pretty fast. Again, reach out to your property consultant for more details and pricing options with these floor plans. We have, gosh, about 70 of these houses under construction right now, so we can send out individual pictures and videos of the ones under construction to give you a little bit more detail besides the rendering. And these are some of the newer shots of the construction I was talking about. You can see how many are under construction. The one on the bottom right is McCall. That's the model that we have here. Our construction crew is actually working out of a finished one, so we can get you more details on that. And again, for the free brochure, just reach out to the property consultant. We will get you that sent right over, or email webinar@ecidevelopment.com. Either one of those options will work for us to get you one of those brochures. The next neighborhood is one of the front neighborhoods. It's close to the office. Is San Diego Viejo community. And we actually have prices on these lots are ridiculous. They are starting at $39,900. Good sized lots. A lot of them have ocean view, and you can build whatever you like. We actually are working on getting together a couple floor plans to choose from, just to make your process easier. That way we can package it together in a nice setup. But the price for these home sites to have that much land at that little price that close to the beach is just really is a steal. The next development, this one is actually on the golf course. This is the Mila housing development. We actually had one of the residents here. They built a Mila house with a couple tweaks in the San Diego Viejo community. So theirs was the first one to be complete. So we were able to walk that one the other day and take some really good videos. And this is the 1-story floor plan. Again, we want to go over more details in person later, since we're kind of in a rush. But this one is 1,130 square feet for a total of 315. And then we have a 2-bedroom option. And the 2-bedroom option is 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath for a total price of $372. And we have quite a few of these under construction right now. So if you ever want videos or pictures of the progress, we can send you that. But this is an example of what you'll see whenever you go by the golf course community. The next and final one is the Bella community. This one is on the beach. It is actually beachfront, very modern, very sleek, and it's been a really big hit lately. This one has been the one that people have been really excited about. The development looks amazing, and everything is piecing together really good. You can see the big open windows, sliding doors out front, and nice sleek interior. And again, you can see the master plan where the Bella home is right on the beachfront. Those 3 home models, you got 2 2-bedroom options and 1 3-bedroom option. And it is literally like a hotel / house. It has that nice interior, nice layout, open concept feel. This is the 2-bedroom option. And then we'll get into the 3-bedroom options. The 3-bedroom, again, you have 2 different 3-bedroom options. This is the smaller of the 2. And then the larger of the 2 is right here, the Apollo. Now the Apollo is a little bit different because you actually have 3 terraces instead of 1. It's a little bit wider house and it gives you a little bit more room in the bedrooms with ocean front view in 2 of the bedrooms as well as from the living room kitchen. And this is the construction process. So you can see there are actually 9 homes on each horseshoe. So I call them horseshoes. They're little half circles and they are right up on the beach line. The top right picture, if you look, that is where the bank is. So there is a drop off from the bank going to the beach. But you are as close to the beach as you could possibly get. Whenever you're inside your home, you're going to be able to open up the doors and actually hear and smell the ocean. It's going to be really, really neat, really, really amazing. I'm not sure if I'm allowed favorites, but that would be. All right, so this is the Las Perlas Oceanfront Village. We can click through that picture. We have condominiums starting at 159.9. Over in Nicaragua, we have a little bit of everything. We got condos, tiny houses, land that you could build your own house, package deals. It's all set up through a rental program. This one has private swim pool. There's clubhouse. You have flexible owner usage. All of the properties are going to be able to be set up through a rental program to where you can live here part-time and use it as an income through a rental program. And this is the Mumbo Tumbo. You can see the pictures of what that looks like. Amazing balconies right on the ocean. Starting at 159.9 for the Messiah residence. And it is also sandwiched right in between the golf, the restaurant, the ocean. It is right in the mix. So if you like being where all the people are hanging out, this is going to be the spot for you. So whenever we have events coming in town, a lot of people rent out the condos first because it is right next to the beach, right next to the golfing, right next to the restaurant. It is easy access. This is a picture of our clubhouse. There's actually been a lot of work done to the clubhouse lately. They have a restaurant in there now, so we're full service of food. There's tennis court, there's a mini soccer court, and then you can also go out there to rent a golf cart to go golfing, or you can set up and go out there and tee balls and use it as a driving range. And with Nicaragua, you got easy residency programs. You have a package for pension programmer, 45 plus in age, or investor program with any age. You must invest $30,000 in Nicaragua to receive a 5-year residency, which is renewable. And you can run your own business here. It's actually recommended. We would love to have more business owners here in Nicaragua.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Brandon. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is something that's a little bit different. It's not a residential property. We're focusing now on alternative investments and protecting yourself and your most important assets here. And that is through ownership of agricultural products, specifically teak. Teak ownership is definitely something that for the past several centuries has been something that the upper class have been involved in. It wasn't really available to folks who didn't have super deep pockets, but we have found an opportunity to give average people options to own timberland. So a few of the reasons why this investment is really quite unique is that it gives back to Mother Nature. The global demand for teak is up and global supply is down. And it also offers above average returns and a safe investment due to its real value. So teak has proven itself as an important hardwood for centuries. It's exceptionally hard, durable, and oily, which makes it excellent for use in outdoor furniture, on yachts. It's one of the things that makes it so unique is that after age 3, it becomes resistant to insects, termites, fungus, rot, fire, mold, really anything that you might think of when you're thinking about an agricultural investment. Like I said, it's been used by shipbuilders for decades, so it's not something that we've just sort of come up with. It's not a new fad or a new trend. It really does have proven worth over the decades. So folks such as John Malone, Ted Turner, as well as several different endowment funds have already been investing in teak for years. One of the things I find most interesting is that the Harvard Endowment has 10% of its assets in timber, averaging about $3 billion. These folks are owning large parcels of timberland, in large dollar amounts, which are probably not numbers that you or I can afford. But we have, it's clear that it is timber ownership is something that the ultra wealthy are invested in. And so it really should be something that you're looking at as well. Some of the things that teak is also used for is custom gates. I met a fellow at a conference who is a custom gate builder. He said he uses lots of teak. These are just a few examples of his gates, but prices starting at $65,000. That just goes to show you, what it's worth. Here you can see lots of outdoor furniture. It has a really beautiful kind of golden color if you are oiling it regularly, but it also does fade naturally into a really beautiful gray. Fun little story. This picture down here in the bottom left-hand corner, that's actually my house. Those were chairs that I had outside on the deck. They'd been neglected for some time, but we took out the pressure washer, got some teak oil and spiffed them right up, and they looked brand new. So it doesn't take a whole lot to make it look brand new again. This is a teak lounge chair that was pulled out of the ocean from the Titanic. So again, like you can see, it's been around for decades, and it really does withstand the elements. All it needs is a little TLC, and it looks brand new. So the first farm that we're going to talk about, we purchased in 1999. It was a cattle pasture. We planted teak saplings there. In 2000, they started to grow. You can see that it's becoming more green here. 2007 is when we really started to see a lot of growth in the trees. And then we started to do visits down to the farm with some of our owners. These are some of our first owners who came down in 2013 to visit their teak farm. And we continue to do these visits because it is a fun way to meet other teak owners, chat with the folks who manage the farm. This fellow here in the yellow polo shirt, that's Luis, who's been with us since day one. He helps to care for the day-to-day needs of the farm. But it's a really fun time. This is some of our more recent visits. These photos here are from our newest farm, which is both baby teak as well as 16-year-old teak. And then I was actually just at the farm last month where it was pouring rain, but that pouring rain is needed in order for the teak to grow. Teak needs a very specific wet season as well as a dry season. The wet season it needs for it to grow and expand, and then the dry season is for it to harden and develop those unique qualities that teak is known for. So we have a couple of different options. Like I mentioned, our mature teak, which is 23 years old, did sell out, but we do still have our teenage teak, which is 16 years old. That teak is about 12 years away from harvest. Quarter-acre parcels start at 18,866 with projected returns of about 92,000. Or we've got our newborn teak, which is about 25 years away from harvest. Parcels start at 6,880 with projected returns over the 25-year period of about 94,000. I want to note that these projections are based on the current price of teak. These don't account for inflation or increase in price of teak. And typically we do see about a 5% increase in teak lumber year over year. Teak is quite popular in countries such as India and China, which have growing markets and a high demand. And so as like we said earlier in the presentation, there's not enough product to supply the market. And so plantation teak has become quite popular and lucrative in the last few years. We do also have teak at our property in Grand Pacifica that Brandon was talking about. Again, 3 different options. Our 4-year-old toddler teak did sell out, but we do have that 1-year-old teak. Quarter-acre parcels start at $73.80 with projected returns around $94,000, and then that newborn teak, very similar to the Panama teak, $6,880 with projected returns around $94,000 over a period of 25 years. This is our comparison chart. I don't expect you to be able to read it now. There's a lot of information. But if you are interested in this, definitely reach out. It gives you a good overview of the different options that are available at both farms, kind of breaks down the differences, includes all of the different pricing, as well as information on taxes in the different countries, how you can hold the property. You have some different options depending on which country you're looking at, or if you're looking at residency, that's definitely something else to consider. Onto that residency section there. So in Panama, there are 2 different residency programs that we, 2 or 3 different residency programs that we offer. One is the pensionado visa, which all you need is to draw a pension of at least $1,000 a month. You can't work in the country, and last I checked, you were not able to apply for citizenship in Panama. There's also the Friendly Nations visa, which is available to anyone of any age who invests a minimum of $200,000 in real estate. That can include teak, and it does allow for the option to citizenship after 5 years. There is also the reforestation visa, which requires a minimum investment of $100,000 in a certified reforested property, which all of our teak farms are. And that is a temporary residency that can be renewed for permanent residency. So if you'd like information on any of these residency programs in Panama, definitely let us know. We can send you more detailed information on what that process looks like. We have a dedicated team in Panama that we've been working with for several years now who really takes you through that residency process so you don't have to go through it on your own. I did it myself a couple of years ago through the Friendly Nations visa, and it was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. So I definitely recommend you look into that if getting that second residency is something that you're interested in. Oops. Like we said, if you would like more information on the teak options, definitely let us know. Send us an email at webinar@ECI Development. We've got a lot of great information, handbooks, as well as previously recorded webinars, so you can listen to get a more detailed look at the teak programs. I do want to make an important note that applies to all of the different countries about the differences between a residency and a passport. So when you go into any country, you'll most likely be given a tourist visa when you enter the country. That gives you the right to be in the country. Each country is a little bit different. Usually it's a stamp upon arrival, and it's good, anywhere between 30 and 180 days, depending on the country. Residency, that's the equivalent of, in the US, getting your green card. That allows you to be in the country permanently. It allows you to work. Some countries do have time restrictions, but again, that just depends on the different country. And then citizenship is getting that passport. This is typically accomplished, oh my gosh, got ahead of myself there. This is typically achieved through either time or an investment. All the countries have different requirements, but it typically involves some sort of test of the language. If the country speaks, the official language of the country is different, as well as a test on the history or the culture of the country, along with a handful of other requirements. So we do have information on that process. And I do want to note that some countries do allow you to be a dual citizen. Panama is one of those. Nicaragua does not. So if you are interested in Nicaragua citizenship, you would have to renounce any other citizenships that you have. So definitely something to consider if you are looking at getting that second passport. A few considerations if you're looking at ownership of property through ECI development. We do offer a handful of different cryptocurrencies, and we do also have financing options for almost all of our properties. Typically between 50% and 80% can be financed. Definitely reach out if you'd like more information on that. And we offer turnkey solutions with expert bilingual coordinators. So we're happy to chat with you about what you are interested in and find a solution that works for you and your goals. Well, this is just an overview of the residency timeline. Looks like that got out of order. But again, this is just a quick overview of the different residency options in some of the countries that we work in. If you'd like more information, please do reach out to your property consultant or to that webinar at ecidevelopment.com email address, and we'll happily send you more information and chat with you about what that process looks like and the best way for you to accomplish that residency. So this is our sales team. You've probably been in touch with one of these folks on the screen here. If not, you will be connected with a property consultant who will be your dedicated person. They will chat with you about all of the options that we chatted about here, as well as more. We couldn't get to everything today. We do have a few other projects going on, but we only have a limited amount of time, and know that your time is valuable, so we don't want to take up too much time. But definitely reach out and chat with them about what you're looking at, what you're interested in. If you didn't see something or didn't hear something about a country, definitely reach out. We are looking at a few other places throughout Latin America to have projects in. So definitely stay tuned for more information. Looks like we've got a little bit of time for Q&A, but I do want to just mention this one last resource. Regardless of where you're looking at property, I definitely recommend that everybody checks out the Consumer Resource Guide to Overseas Property Ownership. This is a fantastic handbook that our CEO, Mike Cobb, put together. This is all based on his 20 plus years living and working in Latin America. He likes to say that he paid the tuition so that you don't have to. He made some mistakes in the beginning, and you learn from those. So this goes through a handful of questions that you should ask yourself when you're looking at property overseas. And it doesn't necessarily only apply to Latin America. It really is a global document there. So definitely recommend reaching out to your property consultant to get that digital handbook. So we do have a little bit of time here to go through questions. Let's see. Leslie asked, does Belize get hit with hurricanes often? I've heard Panama and Costa Rica seem to be safer from hurricanes. That's a good question, Leslie. Belize is in the hurricane path. In the 7 years I've been here, we've had one hurricane. It was a Category 1, but typically we're very protected because of the barrier reef. It typically sends them northeast towards Florida or towards Cuba and Haiti. So, it's not completely hurricane safe, but we do build to hurricane Category 4 and 5 standards with all of our properties here in Belize. So they're quite substantial. We bring our windows in from Florida, so they hold up to that. Do they have an HOA? Carlos, yes, all of our properties do have an HOA. They vary depending on the different community, but typically it involves security at the property, landscaping, maintenance. In Belize, it includes access to the pool and fitness center at Grand Bayman. In Grand Pacifica, it includes the pool, golf course there. So in all of the informational brochures on the different communities, we do go over what the HOA fees are and what it includes. Lazaro asked if these are timeshares. No, all of our properties, you do have full title ownership, not timeshares. With some of the rental programs, specifically the Marriott and the Best Western, there are owner usage guidelines, and that's really so that the hotel brand, has an idea of when the owner's going to be using it versus when they can rent it out. But that's dependent, and feel free to ask for more specifics on that. Jesse asked about COVID restrictions. So in Belize, if you are fully vaccinated, all you need to show is proof of your vaccination. If you're not vaccinated, you do need to have a COVID test. It's a PCR test 72 hours before, or a rapid test no more than 48 hours before. There are no mask requirements other than to go into government buildings, or some private businesses do have those. I know Nicaragua just lifted their PCR testing for folks who are fully vaccinated. But if you are unvaccinated, you do still need to have that PCR test to enter Nicaragua. And same, there are no government mask mandates, but private businesses and can have their own regulations. And then in Panama, similar to the other countries, if you're fully vaccinated, you don't need to show a test, just your vaccination card. Or if you're unvaccinated, you do need that test to enter the country. And they're definitely loosening up on the mask mandates there. Is it safe for a single woman? Not sure if you were talking about Belize or Nicaragua or Panama. I can say for Belize, I've lived here for 7 years by myself. I've never felt unsafe. I drive around by myself. I go out at night. I travel around the country, rent cars. I've never felt unsafe. Leslie, I don't know if you're on, but if you wanted to pop on and say something about Nicaragua there, since you've been living there for a while as a single lady.
Hey, I'll pop on. I've just scooted Brandon out of the way here. Yeah, I will actually can speak on that because I've been here a little over a year, and I'm like Betsy. I lived in Belize. I felt completely safe there. Same in Nicaragua. I have explored this country by myself. I have a vehicle now. I've driven hours away, and I never feel unsafe. Everyone you'll find in most of these countries are very friendly, and the locals are always willing to help you. So I highly recommend, if you have those preconceived ideas about the different countries, just come visit us, let us show you around, and you'll see what we see for sure.
Yes, definitely. These countries get a lot of bad rap in the US, but a lot of that's based on really old information from the 80s. A lot has changed in these countries. Like Leslie said, people are very friendly. They're willing to give you a helping hand. If your car breaks down on the side of the road, you'll more than likely have more than one person offering to help you or to give you a ride somewhere. So it is quite safe. Karen asked if you can bring your dogs. Absolutely. Leslie and I both have pets that we've traveled with throughout the different countries. Each country does have some different requirements on what you need to do to bring them in, but it is definitely possible to do. Karen also asked about the weather. Again, not sure if you were talking about Belize or Nicaragua, but both countries have fairly similar weather. It is the tropics, so it is warm and can be a little bit humid at times, but both countries do have that rainy season, which we're currently in now. So you do expect, some short showers. It's not long days, long rain like you're in Seattle. It's quick, and then the sun comes back out. Hurricanes, like I said about Belize, it is possible, but does not happen often. Our property in Nicaragua is on the Pacific coast, which historically does not get hurricanes. You might get a little bit of rain from it, but it most likely will not hit on the Pacific side.
Hey, Betsy.
Anonymous attendee. Oh, sorry. Did you have something to say there, Leslie? Cut you off.
No, you're fine. I saw the next question about, do I need to learn Spanish? English spoken there. So I thought I'm probably a good one to answer this, because I know you're fluent in Spanish where I am not. So in Belize is English speaking, so not necessary there. In Belize, you will hear some Spanish, you'll hear Creole. But here in Nicaragua, I came here, I did have Spanish in high school and college. And I was familiar, I have all those words and things floating around up there in my head, but I have literally not spoken the language in probably 20 plus years. So when I came, I did have a few little meltdown moments at first, one in the grocery store, because I don't know why I thought moving to a Spanish speaking country that all the labels at the grocery store would be in English. I'm not sure why that crossed my mind, but it did. And I literally kind of had a meltdown in the laundry detergent aisle. Not my proudest moment, but then I was like, okay, Leslie, you can do this. It's not really a big deal. And guess what? I've been here over a year now. I love this country. I tell people, come with an open mind. If you don't know the language, again, everyone is helpful here at Grand Pacifica. There are a lot of expats, a lot of English speakers here, but it's fun. Even at the restaurant, like the locals, they want to learn English. So we really help each other. So at the restaurant, a lot of the bartenders and waiters, I try to make myself speak Spanish to them, and then they speak English, trying to learn from each other. So download a great app. I use Duolingo, but come and just keep an open mind. You will definitely be able to get by in Nicaragua without knowing Spanish.
Yes, absolutely. It helps to know a few key phrases, but gracias goes a long way. But I know there's plenty of folks that are willing to teach you there too at Grand Pacifica. So it's definitely an option. But like Leslie said, here in Belize, not necessary, but you will hear folks speaking it, especially if you're in the western part of the country. Gosh, so many good questions. Kirby asked, could not listen. Will you send out a replay? Yes, everybody who registered, even if you weren't able to join us for the full session, will receive a recording. If you don't receive that recording automatically after the webinar, reach out to your property consultant and they can send that over to you. That looks like it brings us to just about time here. So I know that we couldn't get to everybody's questions, but your property consultant will make sure to answer your specific question if we didn't get to it. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us this afternoon. We went through a lot of information. So if you missed something or didn't, get everything written down, don't worry, reach out to us, webinar at ECI Development, and we will make sure that you get everything that you're looking for. Tons of great resources, and your property consultants are there to help you. So any last words, Leslie?
No.
Or Brandon?
Brandon's here with me. We have our string, so we're in and out. But no, we enjoyed, I enjoyed listening in and letting Brandon and Betsy, they did a great job as always. So just reach out to us if you have any questions, but even better, come visit us.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And we look forward to hearing from you. Have a good one.